While we've been working to hone our skills in physical distancing, there are sure to be some hiccups with the return to school or work this fall. Here to help us navigate those situations is etiquette expert Julie Blais Comeau. Good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
All right, let's start with the hot one, school. And this one is a conversation a lot of families are having right now. How do you suggest dealing with family members who maybe don't agree with your plan to send your kids back to school if that's the choice you've made?
That's a tough one. So you want to choose the spouse that is closest. So let's say it's the in-laws. So the daughter or the son of those in-laws should probably take the lead on that conversation. You're going to start by stating that you're happy that you're back in this bubble and that you appreciate their concern. And you're going to state that you discuss this at length. And for now, it is the way that you've chosen to go for your family. So that's how you deal with that one, Anne-Marie.
What about, this is happening as people start to come home from summer vacation. They want to get their kids back together. What do you do if your child's asked on a play date and maybe you're not comfortable with them going?
You want to have that conversation with the other adult. You want to be careful of the children, who's listening to what. So you may choose to pick up the phone for this one. And you're going to say, we're gradually growing our bubble. Could you tell me a little bit about the pandemic precautions or what is the plan for this play date? And then you're going to give yourself permission to chat with your spouse about this and get back to them. And Anne-Marie, with all invitation, you have permission to decline this one. And then if you've chosen to decline, you can say, well, how about we all meet at the park and then the children can see each other, or why not plan on a virtual play date if you're not comfortable?
Julie, here's one that I know is going to come up. So there's lots of protocols in place in schools. The concern for a lot of parents and a lot of educators is outside of school, how people are socializing. What should you do if you see something you shouldn't see, like, teachers without masks or kids chatting without masks less than 2 meters apart?
Yeah, resist the temptation to take out your phone, take some snapshots, or to record. Do not discipline other children. That we can never do, Anne-Marie. So what you're going to do is that you're going to use the communication channels that the school, that the authority requests from you. So maybe it's an email, maybe it's a telephone. If you see that principal, he or she is available, have the conversation, but do it from a matter of fact. Like, this is what I saw, this is what I observed. And then you're going to go back home or back in the car and you're going to take down notes, because unfortunately it could happen again, and then you'll have a record of that.
Let's switch gears, talk about work. As people start to get more comfortable, what can you do if a client, let's say, wants to meet in person, but your employer has said not yet to any meetings outside the workplace?
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to, yes, getting together again. Unfortunately, for now, it's very strict over here. Our policy forbids it. So if it's about indoors that you cannot have that conversation or that meeting, if you are allowed outdoors, suggest, while the weather is still good, to meet up on a patio. And if not, well, you'll have to go the virtual way. But really empathize and state that you're looking forward to seeing them again and when you can shake hands sometime in the future.
We could do a whole segment on mask etiquette, but I do have one question for you. What if a colleague is constantly taking off their mask and the office guidelines include that you must wear it at all times?
Okay, on this one, you're going to think, could I be perceived as foe, friend or foe? If there could be that perception of being a foe, of discriminating, et cetera, don't take matters into your own hands, Anne-Marie. What you want to do is that you want to confide this conversation to the person in authority, whether it be HR or your superior. If it's someone that you're close to, have a conversation one-on-one in private and say, it's kind of tough wearing the mask all the time. And then listen, observe. Maybe that person has anxiety. Maybe they have a condition. And you're going to conclude by saying something like, I really care about you. I just want to remind you that we must wear masks at all times. Maybe you should speak to someone and see how you can go about that. So really, there's a lot to consider on this one, whether you will have that conversation or you will let the HR or your boss have that one.
Julie, this last one, we've been dealing with this for 5 months now, and I still feel like it creates an awkward situation. What do you do if someone goes to shake your hand? Do you just leave them high and dry? What are some alternatives?
Yeah, we still see it happening, right? Be benevolent. Give the other one the benefit of being like pre-pandemic, Homo sapien human beings that we are, and then back it up. back it up and say, put your hand on your heart, do the namaste, whatever greeting you've chosen during the pandemic, and say, I'm looking forward to shaking your hand too, but I just want to keep within the pandemic precautions so that we can all resume being human beings very, very soon and go back to being social and hugging and shaking hands.
Boy, I can't even imagine when that time will come. Julie, this is great advice and timely too. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.